It turns out that acclaimed director Martin Scorsese is not a fan of Marvel movies.
In other words, old man yells at cloud.
In an interview with Empire magazine where he was asked for his thoughts on the movies of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Scorsese said, quote, "I don't see them. I tried, but that's not cinema. Honestly, the closest I can think of them, as well made as they are, with actors doing the best they can under the circumstances, is theme parks. It isn't the cinema of human beings trying to convey emotional, psychological experiences to another human being."
That's an interesting opinion on Marvel movies from someone who says he doesn't even watch Marvel movies.
Well, he said he tried. But I guess it depends on which one he watched. If it was Thor: The Dark World, I'd totally see where he's coming from. Somebody, please show him Black Panther.
Rising to the defense of Marvel movies is none other than Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn. He tweeted, quote, "Martin Scorsese is one of my 5 favorite living filmmakers. I was outraged when people picketed The Last Temptation of Christ without having seen the film. I'm saddened that he's now judging my films in the same way."
Gunn makes a fair point. It's not fair to judge a movie, a whole series of movies, without even watching them. But it's also not fair to compare apples to oranges.
Right, but comparing Marvel movies to Scorsese's films isn't apples and oranges, it's apples and thumbtacks. They're completely different, they're for different people, and they set out to do completely different things.
Scorsese's films are highly focused studies of his characters, often about tortured psyches trying to make sense of the world around them. From his most famous mob movies about navigating the world of organized crimes to character studies like Silence, exploring the struggle of maintaining faith, his career has been varied and prolific and filled with films that ask difficult questions of the audience.
Whereas Marvel movies are like theme parks in that they're fun, exhilarating, and give you an adrenaline rush, but where I think Scorsese isn't giving them enough credit is in how they do tell stories of emotional, psychological experiences. That's the secret ingredient to why the MCU is so successful. They always focus on the characters. Under the Iron Man armor is an incredibly fascinating and complicated character. Tony Stark has dealt with the guilt of his family's legacy, PTSD after a near-death experience, and finding something to fight for that's more important than himself. It's fine if these movies aren't your cup of tea, but there's a good reason Avengers Endgame left audiences in tears, because they do connect with people on an intimately human level.
Bottom line, this discussion is not a new one, and really it comes down to a hair-splitting semantic debate about what is a movie, what is film, and what is cinema. The definition of those 3 words are different for everybody. It's the same as putting a Jackson Pollock next to the Mona Lisa and saying only one of them is a painting. That's just not the case. They're 2 different paintings, and they both have value. You might just like one more than the other. And that's the grain of salt this whole "it's not a film" conversation should be taken with. It should be about preference and not a judgment of quality.
Well, it's a really thoughtful response to a nuanced topic.
Thank you.
So, are we gonna ruin this moment with a joke?
Oh, no, I don't tell jokes. I only partake in the theater of comedy.
And on that note, let us know what you think of Scorsese's hot take on the MCU not being real cinema in the comments.
And for more news from IGN Now, check out the crossover you never knew you needed, Magic the Gathering and My Little Pony, and everything you need to know about Sony and Marvel's new Spider-Man movie deal. I'm sure Mr. Scorsese will want to watch that one.
Indeed. And be sure to follow and subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch.